Hello clan, welcome back again to our today's podcast. Welcome back to Men's Corner. This is the podcast where we dive deep into the issues that shape our lives, redefine our identities and inspire us to grow. I'm your host Joel Matako, and today we are exploring a topic that hits close to home for many of us. This is the evolution of masculinity. Evolution of masculinity. So for centuries, masculinity has been shaped by rigid norms and expectations. But the world is fast changing, and so must we. In this episode, we will be discussing the history of traditional masculinity, the rise of toxic masculinity and its consequences, and how we can redefine and embrace a healthier, more authentic version of manhood. Man. So by the end of this episode, by the end of this conversation, you will have an actionable insights to help you break free from outdated stereotypes and step into your true self. Let's get started, and just to bring you on to understand where we are going, we need to know where we've been and where we're coming from. So historically, masculinity was often defined by physical strength, dominance, and the ability to provide and protect your family. These traits were essential in ancient times when survival was a daily struggle. So over time, society began to enforce these norms through culture, religion, and even laws that keep us in shape. But here's the thing, as society evolved, these traditional notions of masculinity didn't always keep up. Many of us grew up with the idea that men must be stoic providers, never showing vulnerability or weakness or crying. While some of these traits have their places, man, they've also created challenges in modern life. So we want to unpack how societal expectations have shifted and why. Just want to unpack. Now the changing social landscape, the world is more connected than ever. More phones, internet everywhere, social norms are being challenged, and the idea of what it means to be a man is evolving. We've seen a move away from rigid definitions of masculinity. Traits like emotional intelligence, vulnerability, and kindness, once dismissed as unmanly, are now celebrated as essential qualities. So you need to cry. Is it? No, still, man. Still holding to. So, but change isn't easy, right? You see, many men still struggle to reconcile these evolving expectations with the traditional roles they were taught. And this brings us to the concept of toxic masculinity. So the rise of toxic masculinity is what happens when traditional norms go unchecked and become harmful. It's not about masculinity being bad, it's about unhealthy behaviors and expectations that hurt both men and those around them. Yeah, think about it. Violence, emotional suppression, and unhealthy competition, these are often rooted in the pressure to conform to outdated ideas of manhood. But here's the truth, man. Guys, this is the truth, this is the change. Clan, this is the truth. These rigid notions don't serve us. They limit us, they stifle our growth, and they damage our relationships. So when we embrace our authentic self, how do we define masculinity? Now, how do we even move from toxic patterns to something more inclusive and fulfilling and wholesome? So, how to redefining masculinity should celebrate individuality and personal expression. There is no one size fits all. There's no one size fits all. Whether you're a man who loves sports, art, or caregiving or entrepreneurship like I do, your masculinity is valid, right? So when you're moving from beyond stereotypes, beyond masculinity, so let's challenge the idea of that men can't be vulnerable or emotional, or you can't cry. So vulnerability isn't weakness, it is strength. Emotional intelligence, kindness, and empathy are just as manly as physical strength or leadership. So this is how we need to build healthy relationships. So strong relationships are built on open communication. We've been talking about communication in relationship and even in sexual health, sexual potency. So respect and understanding. So strong relationships are built on open communications, respect, and understanding. So when we embrace these qualities, we not only grow as men but also foster deeper connections with those around us. So how do we develop inner strength? True strength isn't just physical. True strength isn't just physical, the physical outlook, but it is mental and emotional. And here is how we can cultivate it. So number one, cultivating emotional intelligence, it requires self-awareness and empathy, which are game changers. Self-awareness and empathy, these help us navigate challenges and build resilience. Then we need also to prioritize our mental health. So seeking help isn't a sign of weakness, guys. It is courage. Therapy, support groups, or even talking to a trusted friend can make all the difference. For instance, a day before yesterday, I had a friend who had issues of family. We were just talking and diving into the same, giving advice, putting insights here and there. He ended up being relieved, and we fostered a way forward, like just give an advice. Some things you don't need to rush. You let time heal. Time is a good healer. So finding purpose and meaning. What drives you? What are you passionate about? Identifying your purpose gives you sense of direction and fulfillment. So here is the practical tip for embracing your masculinity. So let's make this actionable tips. So some of the practical steps that can help you embrace a healthier and more authentic version of masculinity is number one is to challenge your own biases. Reflect on stereotypes you've internalized. Question them. Do they really serve your interest or serve you? Seek out positive role models. They are those people in the society we look up to. They have done tremendous work in terms of creating a world where we can embrace masculinity. So surround yourself with men who embody traits you admire, positive traits, compassion, strength, and resilience. Embrace vulnerability. It's okay to express your emotions. Ask for help or admit you don't have all the answers. So as we wrap up this episode of today, should be short and sweet. So here is my challenge to you guys. Create a positive impact. Use your voice and actions to promote inclusivity and understanding. Advocate for change. Support organizations that champion gender equality and healthy masculinity all the time. Be a champion for authenticity. Live as your true self and inspire others to do the same. Clan, masculinity is evolving, and so are we. So let's redefine it together, not just for ourselves, but for the generations that follow us. If this episode has really resonated with you, I want you to share it with your cycle, your society, your clan, your family, and let's start the conversation and keep it going. Next time in our men's corner, we'll discuss the role of friendship in modern masculinity. The role of friendship in modern masculinity. You won't want to miss that episode coming up. And until then, guys, remember, being a man isn't about fitting into a box. No, it's about breaking free from it. Thank you, adios. And if you have not subscribed, guys, remember, If you don't subscribe, you won't find this kind of exciting content. Thank you and adios.